Here's something that will blow your mind. Walk through any forest, dive in any ocean, explore any desert, and you'll find animals in practically every color imaginable. Except blue. Real blue is so rare that when nature does create it, the results are absolutely spectacular. But here's the kicker. When scientists finally cracked the code in recent years, they discovered nature's been hiding a secret that's now revolutionizing how we make everything from paint to smartphone screens. The 2025 breakthrough in Morpho-inspired imaging technology revealed just how sophisticated these blue animals really are. The reason blue is rare isn't what you think, and the numbers behind this mystery are even more shocking than you'd imagine. The Blue Census, what 2025 research reveals. Scientists have cataloged millions of known species on Earth, yet blue animals remain extraordinarily rare among this vast diversity. To put this in perspective, there are more species of beetles in a single rainforest than there are blue animals documented across the entire planet. In recent years, researchers have discovered only a handful of new structurally colored blue species, each using completely different optical nanostructures to create their color. Yet think finding more blue animals would help solve the mystery. Instead, each discovery made things more confusing. Some use microscopic structures that act like tiny mirrors. Others produce chemical compounds so complex that replicating them in a lab requires equipment worth millions of dollars. A few species discovered in 2023 create blue through biological processes that shouldn't even be possible according to what we knew about animal physiology. The discovery pattern reveals something strange. Blue animals aren't randomly distributed across the planet. They cluster in specific environments with very particular conditions. Deep ocean trenches, high-altitude mountain ranges, ancient forest canopies that haven't changed in millions of years. It's like blue coloration requires a perfect storm of environmental factors that rarely occur together. This creates a paradox that's been driving researchers crazy. Blue dominates our planet. The sky is blue. The ocean is blue. Blue light makes up a huge portion of the electromagnetic spectrum that reaches Earth's surface. Yet life itself treats blue like it's toxic. Most animals can produce red, yellow, orange, green, brown, black, and white with relative ease. Their bodies manufacture these colors using straightforward chemical processes or simple structural arrangements. But blue? Blue seems to require biological innovations so sophisticated that evolution rarely stumbles upon them. The central question driving modern research isn't just why blue is rare. It's why blue is so systematically avoided. Random chance should produce blue animals at least occasionally, but the distribution pattern suggests something more deliberate is happening. It's like there's an active evolutionary pressure pushing life away from blue coloration. 2025 brought breakthrough discoveries that finally start answering this puzzle. Advanced genetic analysis revealed that the biochemical pathways needed to create blue pigments interfere with other essential biological processes. Animals that produce blue chemicals often sacrifice immune system function or metabolic efficiency. The trade-offs are so severe that most lineages that evolved blue coloration went extinct within a few million years. But here's where it gets interesting. The few blue animals that survived developed workarounds so elegant they seem almost engineered. Instead of making blue chemicals, they build microscopic structures that manipulate light itself. These biological machines create blue without the toxic side effects of blue chemistry. The innovation required to develop these systems represents some of the most sophisticated biological engineering on the planet. The answer involves a biological arms race that's been running for hundreds of millions of years. Predators and prey have been locked in an evolutionary battle over vision and camouflage. As hunters developed better eyesight, prey animals had to become harder to see. Colors that made animals conspicuous became evolutionary disadvantages. Blue, it turns out, is particularly bad for staying hidden from the types of visual systems that most predators evolved. This arms race explains why blue disappeared from most animal lineages while other colors persisted. Red animals could hide among flowers and fruits. Green animals vanished into vegetation. Brown animals blended with soil and bark. But blue animals stood out like neon signs against most natural backgrounds. The evolutionary pressure against blue was so strong that lineages abandoned it even when they had the biochemical machinery to produce it. Understanding blue's rarity is revolutionizing technology in ways nobody expected. Engineers studying blue animals have discovered biological solutions to problems that have stumped human designers for decades. The microscopic structures that create blue and butterfly wings are inspiring new types of solar panels that capture light with unprecedented efficiency. Blue bird feathers are leading to self-cleaning surfaces that never need maintenance. Deep-sea blue creatures are showing us how to create materials that remain stable under extreme pressure and temperature conditions. Medical device manufacturers are particularly excited about blue animal research. The precision required to create biological blue structures exceeds anything we can currently manufacture. Understanding how animals build these microscopic machines could lead to medical implants that integrate seamlessly with human tissue. Drug delivery systems that target specific cells with perfect accuracy. Diagnostic tools that detect diseases at the molecular level. The most spectacular blue creatures discovered in recent years each tell a unique story of evolutionary problem solving. The electric blue jellyfish found in 2024 creates its color using bioluminescent reactions that were thought to be chemically impossible. A tiny blue frog discovered in the Amazon produces blue pigments using a cellular process that requires coordination between multiple organ systems. A new species of blue bird from Madagascar uses wing structures so precise that they can tune their color like adjusting the frequency on a radio. What makes these rare blue animals special compared to their colorful cousins isn't just their appearance. It's the biological sophistication required to achieve blue coloration without dying in the process. Every blue animal represents a solution to problems that eliminated thousands of other species that attempted the same evolutionary path. But perhaps nowhere is this blue mystery more puzzling than in the place where you'd least expect it to be a problem. Marine mysteries, the ocean's blue deception. The ocean itself presents the ultimate paradox. Here's something that doesn't make sense. The ocean is blue, but the animals living in it aren't. You'd think that in a blue world, being blue would be the perfect camouflage, but walk into any aquarium or watch any nature documentary about marine life and you'll see fish in every color except the one that surrounds them. Bright yellows, vivid oranges, electric greens, zebra stripes, polka dots, but almost no blue. This isn't just weird, it's the opposite of what logic would predict. Recent deep-sea expeditions have been finding creatures in ocean trenches that no human has ever explored before. Research vessels equipped with advanced deep-sea cameras have descended to depths over 7,000 meters below the surface. The pressure down there is crushing, literally over 700 times stronger than at sea level. The water is pitch black, colder than your freezer, and filled with chemicals that will dissolve most materials we use on land. Scientists expected to find very little life, maybe some simple bacteria. Instead, they discovered entire ecosystems filled with bizarre creatures that look like they came from another planet. Among these discoveries, researchers have documented several blue species that challenge everything we thought we knew about marine coloration. These findings force scientists to rethink blue coloration underwater. Water does strange things to light. As you go deeper, different colors disappear at different rates. Red light vanishes first, within the first 10 meters. Orange and yellow fade next. By the time you reach 200 meters down, only blue light remains. You'd think this would make blue the perfect color for deep-sea camouflage. But here's the problem. Most predators in the deep ocean have evolved incredibly sophisticated vision systems, specifically designed to detect the faintest traces of blue light. These predators can see blue wavelengths that human eyes can't even detect. They've evolved specialized photoreceptors that are thousands of times more sensitive to blue light than our eyes. To them, a blue animal in blue water doesn't blend in, it lights up like a neon sign. The blue wavelengths that make it down to the deep ocean are precisely the wavelengths that predators are best at seeing. So being blue underwater is like wearing a reflective vest in a dark room full of people with night vision goggles. The few blue marine animals that do exist have figured out how to turn this disadvantage into a weapon. Instead of using blue for camouflage, they use it as a warning system. Bright blue coloration in the ocean usually means one thing: stay away. The blue-ringed octopus flashes brilliant blue rings when threatened, advertising that its bite contains enough venom to kill a human. Blue sea dragons display their blue coloration to warn that they've absorbed toxins from the jellyfish they eat. Blue tangs and blue chromis fish use their coloration to signal that they taste terrible and aren't worth eating. The physics of blue light underwater creates optical effects that most animals can't take advantage of. Blue wavelengths scatter differently in water than other colors, creating visual distortions that can make objects appear closer or farther away than they actually are. The few animals that have mastered blue coloration have learned to exploit these optical illusions. Some blue fish can position themselves in the water column at exactly the right depth, where the scattering effect makes them appear to be somewhere they're not, confusing predators about their actual location. What's even more remarkable is that some blue marine creatures create their colors through structural engineering rather than pigments. The blue that you see isn't coming from chemicals at all, but from microscopic structures that manipulate light through interference patterns. These structures are arranged with precision that exceeds anything humans can manufacture. They create interference patterns with light waves, amplifying certain wavelengths while canceling out others. The result is a blue so pure and vibrant that it seems to glow even in the dim light of the deep ocean. These structural effects require biological innovations that demand incredible precision. The cellular machinery needed to build these light-manipulating structures is incredibly complex. Each cell has to coordinate with millions of neighboring cells to create structures that are perfectly aligned down to the nanometer level. A single misaligned layer will destroy the entire optical effect. The precision required is like building a skyscraper where every brick has to be placed with surgical accuracy, except the building is made of living tissue that has to repair and maintain itself. Marine blue coloration also requires animals to solve chemical problems that would stump industrial chemists. The blue pigments that some ocean creatures do produce have to remain stable in salt water, under crushing pressure, and in the presence of dissolved chemicals that would break down most organic molecules. These pigments often require rare elements that are scarce in seawater, forcing animals to concentrate these materials from their environment in ways that would be impossible for most life forms. The ocean's blue animals aren't just rare because blue is hard to make. They're rare because succeeding with blue in the marine environment requires mastering multiple scientific disciplines simultaneously. Every blue creature in the ocean represents a biological achievement in physics, chemistry, and engineering rolled into one living organism. But the most sophisticated blue engineering in nature happens in a completely different environment, where creatures have perfected structural color creation to levels that seem almost impossible. The butterfly revolution, nanostructure breakthroughs. Butterflies have mastered this challenge through innovations that represent the pinnacle of biological engineering. The 2025 electron microscopy breakthrough revealed that modern microscopy can now observe submicron wing structures that control structural coloration with unprecedented detail. Scientists can now see structures inside butterfly wings measured in nanometers, that's billions of a meter. To put this in perspective, if a butterfly wing scale was the size of a football field, these blue-creating structures would be smaller than marbles scattered across that field. The resolution is so precise that researchers can watch individual molecules moving around and organizing themselves into the exact patterns needed to create blue light. What scientists discovered completely rewired our understanding of how biological systems create color. Inside butterfly wings, molecules don't just randomly arrange themselves. They form organized assembly lines that function like microscopic factories. Each factory produces a specific type of optical structure designed to manipulate light in precise ways. The molecules know exactly where to go and what to do, like they're following blueprint instructions encoded in the butterfly's DNA. Scientists can now observe this molecular choreography happening in real time, watching as proteins and other biological materials construct a nanoscale architecture that will eventually produce blue light. The structural approach to creating blue dominates the natural world. Most terrestrial blues rely on structural coloration found in butterfly wings and bird feathers, while remarkably only one butterfly species produces the sole known blue pigment in the animal kingdom. Some species build layered structures that work like interference filters and optical equipment. Others create hollow tubes filled with precisely arranged particles that scatter blue light while absorbing other wavelengths. A few species construct branching networks that function like biological fiber optic cables, channeling blue light in specific directions. Different molecular machinery and construction processes, yet they all achieve the same stunning blue result. These microscopic structures represent engineering precision that human technology can't match. The tolerances required for these systems to work properly are incredibly tight. If the spacing between layers is off by even a few atoms, the entire optical effect fails. The surface textures have to be smooth to within fractions of a wavelength of light. The alignment between different structural elements needs to be perfect across millions of individual scales. Current human manufacturing techniques can't achieve this level of precision. especially not in materials that are alive and constantly repairing themselves. The dynamic properties of butterfly blues might be the most remarkable discovery of all. These structures don't just create static colors, they respond to environmental changes in real time. When humidity increases, some butterfly wings shift from deep blue to lighter blue as water molecules change the optical properties of the structures. Temperature changes can cause the blue to become more intense or fade to purple. Most surprisingly, researchers discovered that butterfly wings can change color based on the butterfly's physiological state. When a butterfly is stressed, excited, or preparing to mate, subtle changes in wing muscle tension or hemolymph pressure can alter the spacing of the optical structures, shifting the blue coloration slightly. The backup systems built into butterfly wings are like nothing engineers have ever designed. New imaging techniques revealed that butterfly wings contain multiple redundant layers of blue-producing structures. If the top layer gets damaged by weather, predators, or normal wear and tear, backup layers underneath can still produce blue coloration. Some species have up to 7 layers of these optical structures, each capable of generating blue light independently. This redundancy ensures that butterflies maintain their blue coloration throughout their entire lifespan, even after significant wing damage. The self-repair capabilities of butterfly wing structures represent biological nanotechnology at its most sophisticated. Throughout a butterfly's life, the microscopic structures that create blue coloration are constantly being damaged and rebuilt. Wing scales are exposed to UV radiation, temperature fluctuations, moisture, and physical impacts that would destroy most optical devices. Yet butterfly wings maintain their blue coloration by continuously monitoring and repairing their optical structures. The cellular machinery responsible for this maintenance can detect structural damage at the molecular level and deploy repair proteins to restore proper function. This self-healing ability far exceeds anything in human technology. The technological applications inspired by butterfly wing research are already revolutionizing multiple industries. Display manufacturers are developing screens that use butterfly-inspired optical structures to create colors without traditional pigments or dyes. These displays consume far less energy than conventional screens and produce colors that remain stable under extreme conditions. Solar panel designers are incorporating butterfly wing structures to capture and concentrate light wavelengths that standard photovoltaic cells can't use efficiently. Materials scientists are creating self-healing coatings based on butterfly wing repair mechanisms that can restore their optical properties after damage. The evolutionary investment required for these structural blue systems raises fascinating questions about why nature chose this path over simpler alternatives. Creating the molecular machinery needed for structural blue coloration requires enormous biological resources, yet butterflies have repeatedly evolved these costly systems. The answer may lie in understanding why the alternative approach creating blue through chemistry presents even greater challenges that most life forms simply cannot overcome. The pigment problem, chemistry's blue barrier. The molecular machinery required for blue pigment production presents formidable challenges that most life forms cannot overcome. While animals could easily make red, yellow, or brown pigments using simple chemical modifications of common dietary molecules, blue requires an entirely different approach. The chemistry involves rare metals, toxic intermediate compounds, and reaction pathways that demand sophisticated detoxification systems to prevent cellular damage. In 2024, researchers in the Amazon rainforest discovered something extraordinary, a tiny frog, no bigger than your thumbnail, that produces genuine blue pigment. This marks only the third known animal in the history of biological research that actually manufactures blue pigment rather than using structural tricks to appear blue. The first two were a species of sea slug discovered in the 1970s and a deep-sea fish found in 2019. Finding 3 animals that produce real blue pigment out of millions of known species shows just how rare this ability is. The chemical complexity of blue pigment production starts with the raw materials. Most pigments can be made from common elements like carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen arranged in relatively simple ring structures. Blue pigments require much more exotic chemistry. They often need rare metals like copper or cobalt incorporated into the complex organic frameworks. These metals have to be extracted from the environment, concentrated inside cells, and then precisely positioned within pigment molecules. The extraction process alone requires specialized proteins that most animals don't possess. The toxic nature of blue pigment chemistry creates a deadly paradox. The chemical reactions that produce blue compounds generate byproducts that are poisonous to living cells. Copper-based blue pigments create reactive oxygen species that damage DNA and proteins. The organic compounds needed for certain blue pigments can interfere with essential cellular processes like energy production and protein synthesis. Animals that produce blue pigments are essentially running poison factories inside their bodies, constantly balancing pigment production against cellular survival. The Amazon frog that produces blue pigment faces this toxicity problem head-on. Researchers discovered that nearly 30% of the frog's cellular energy goes toward maintaining detoxification systems that neutralize the harmful byproducts of blue pigment production. The frog has evolved specialized organelles that sequester toxic compounds away from vital cellular machinery. These detox systems are so sophisticated that they rival the liver detoxification pathways found in much larger animals. The evolutionary trade-offs required for blue pigment production are severe. Animals that make blue pigments often sacrifice other critical abilities. The Amazon blue frog has a compromised immune system compared to closely related species that don't produce blue pigments. When researchers exposed these frogs to common pathogens, the blue individuals were 60% more likely to develop infections. Their wound healing is also significantly slower because the cellular resources normally dedicated to tissue repair are diverted to maintaining the blue pigment system. Cutting-edge research has revealed that blue pigment production requires 40% more energy than producing any other color. This energy cost comes from multiple sources. The rare elements needed for blue pigments have to be actively transported into cells against concentration gradients, which requires ATP energy. The complex chemical reactions that assemble blue pigments involve multiple enzymatic steps, each consuming energy. The detoxification systems needed to survive blue pigment production are energy-intensive to maintain. All this additional energy expenditure means less energy available for growth, reproduction, and survival. Recent genetic studies have identified the exact mutations needed for blue pigment production. These findings came from comparing the genomes of blue pigment-producing animals with their non-blue relatives. The genetic changes required are extensive. Blue pigment production needs at least 15 different gene modifications working together. These genes control everything from metal transport proteins to specialized enzymes that can handle toxic chemistry. The mutations have to occur in a specific sequence, and intermediate stages often produce animals that can't survive. Scientists are now attempting to engineer blue pigment genes into other species, with results that range from promising to catastrophic. Early experiments successfully transferred some blue pigment genes from the Amazon frog into laboratory mice. The mice did produce blue pigment, but they also developed severe health problems. Their lifespans were cut in half. They suffered from chronic inflammation. Their offspring had high rates of developmental abnormalities. These failures highlight how tightly integrated blue pigment systems are within animals' overall physiology. The concept that blue pigments represent an evolutionary dead end is gaining support from multiple lines of evidence. Fossil studies suggest that several ancient animal lineages evolved blue pigment production but then went extinct in a few million years. The metabolic costs appear to be unsustainable over evolutionary timescales. When environmental pressures increase, animals with expensive color systems are often the first to disappear. The energy and resources devoted to blue pigment production leave little buffer for surviving droughts, food shortages, or climate changes. The rarity of blue pigments reveals hidden costs of color that most people never consider. Every color in nature represents a biological investment. Red and yellow pigments can be made cheaply from common dietary components. Green pigments are relatively easy to produce and maintain. But blue pigments require such enormous investments in specialized biochemistry that most evolutionary lineages can't afford them. This explains why structural blue coloration is so much more common than pigment-based blue, but the story of blue's rarity runs much deeper than simple chemistry. The patterns emerging from recent research suggest that blue's scarcity might be an evolutionary arms race why blue became forbidden. Blue's rarity might be the result of an ancient evolutionary war that's been raging for hundreds of millions of years. This isn't just about animals randomly evolving different colors. This is about predators and prey locked in a biological arms race where the stakes are life and death, and blue became a casualty of war. The evidence for this evolutionary conflict comes from understanding what blue animals actually are. No known vertebrates synthesize blue pigment. Not a single bird, mammal, reptile, amphibian, or fish produces genuine blue chemistry. This absence isn't random. It represents the outcome of millions of years of selective pressure that systematically eliminated blue pigment production from vertebrate lineages. The few animals that appear blue have evolved structural solutions to avoid the toxicity problems that come with blue pigment chemistry. The predator vision hypothesis explains this systematic elimination. As hunters evolved better eyesight, blue animals became sitting ducks. Vision systems in predators didn't just randomly improve. They got better at detecting specific colors that their prey displayed. Blue wavelengths happen to be particularly easy for many visual systems to detect and process. The protein structures in eyes that detect light are especially sensitive to blue wavelengths, making blue animals stand out like beacons to anything hunting them. 2025 research reveals something that changes everything we thought we knew about predator vision. Many modern predators have specialized blue detection abilities that make human eyesight look primitive. Birds of prey can detect blue wavelengths that are completely invisible to us. Their eyes contain specialized cells with proteins that respond specifically to blue light, allowing them to spot blue objects against backgrounds where we would see nothing. Some mammals have evolved similar capabilities. Cats, for example, can distinguish between different shades of blue that appear identical to human eyes. The sophistication of these blue detection systems is staggering. Researchers discovered that some predator species can detect polarized blue light, which means they can see blue coloration even when it's hidden by camouflage that fools other visual systems. Other predators have evolved the ability to see ultraviolet wavelengths that reveal blue patterns invisible to most animals. It's like predators developed biological X-ray vision specifically designed to find blue prey. But the prey didn't just give up. The few remaining blue animals evolved counterattack strategies, so sophisticated they became nearly invisible. Instead of abandoning blue coloration entirely, some species developed the ability to control when and how their blue appears. They evolved cellular mechanisms that can shut down blue coloration instantly when danger approaches. Other blue animals developed camouflage systems that work specifically against blue-detecting predators, using patterns and textures that confuse even enhanced visual systems. Recent studies of ancient DNA recovered from various sites revealed something unexpected. Genetic analysis shows that many animal lineages actually possessed the genes needed for blue coloration but stopped using them. The DNA was still there, just switched off. This suggests that losing blue coloration wasn't about losing the ability to make blue. It was about actively suppressing blue production because it had become a survival liability. The genetic evidence shows that this suppression happened rapidly in evolutionary terms. Within just a few million years, multiple unrelated animal groups simultaneously stopped producing blue coloration. This kind of coordinated evolutionary change across different species only happens when there's intense selective pressure affecting all of them. The pressure was so strong that it overrode millions of years of previous evolution that had favored blue coloration. Some modern blue animals have taken the counterattack strategy to extreme levels. Researchers discovered species that can switch their colors off completely when threatened. These animals have evolved cellular mechanisms that can instantly alter the microscopic structures responsible for blue coloration. When a predator approaches, they can become essentially colorless within seconds, then restore their blue appearance once the danger passes. This ability requires incredibly sophisticated biological control systems that can coordinate color changes across entire body surfaces. The evolutionary pressure against blue led to some of the most remarkable innovations in biological color production. Unable to use blue pigment safely, animals evolved structural color systems that could create blue through physics rather than chemistry. These structural systems could be controlled more precisely, activated or deactivated as needed, and modified to work against specific types of predator vision. The elaborate microscopic structures we see in modern blue animals are essentially biological stealth technology developed in response to the predator vision arms race. Climate change is now altering predator-prey relationships in ways that might give blue a comeback opportunity. Changing temperatures are affecting the visual systems of some predators, reducing their blue detection capabilities. Shifting habitats are creating new environments where blue coloration might provide advantages that outweigh the predation risks.